No. Leave my hair alone. Goddamn fucking bees.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Sims and Virgins. I promised that
Disrespectful.
I'll go to my gates today, but I didn't. I didn't obey. So, haha. Welcome back to Krown's magical footrest cave.
Oh, it's a footrest time, baby. Welcome back to the fucking Doom Cave, as we got plenty to talk about today. Following up on yesterday's short-term time frame price action on good old Bitcoin right there. But first things first, I would like to wish everyone a nice and happy, healthy, and start to this Tuesday. Yeah, have a happy Tuesday in your life. Thanks for all the likes on the video, by the way. I mean, there's actually, I think we've reached a new all-time high, over 200 likes before the video even really started, and I want to say a massive thank you for that. That actually quite helps. Anyways, with that in mind, I see a bunch of comments right here. What's up, Mr. D? I love you, man. What's up, Mr. KGO? I see you over there, brother. I see you over there. Yeah, please ring the shib doggy siren. Oh, I'll love to, but I don't necessarily know if it's that time just yet, man. Go, Hans, mom. Good morning to you. BK, I see you over there. I'm gonna turn off the alerts for right now before I forget. And there he is. What's up, Joey? I see you, brother. Yeah, a little bit of euphoria in the early morning hours since Bitcoin still closed about $6,000, which is well, not a bad sign. Floyd Chief, there he is. Jack Asman, good morning to you as well, my friend. Good morning to you. And let's get on with it right here, right now. Starting off with the Krown chain application, which of course can be found at app.krownchain.net. It is for the price of 0.00000, repeating, of course, dollars actually. So you can get it for free in the link description below if you so desire, or not. That's all good as well. Anyways, Bitcoin dominance taking a small leg up, about 0.25% from yesterday to today, as we do expect that while Bitcoin does essentially consolidate around the highs, altcoins do get a chance to kind of catch up here. So with that in mind, I would essentially be looking for, god damn, my hair really is like a monstrosity today. It's like more than usual. This is embarrassing. All right, I'm gonna need that Gucci hat. anyways, of course, if and when Bitcoin does get going again, whether it does choose the upside or the downside, I do expect that Bitcoin dominance continues to go up as the uptrend does resume there, essentially. So altcoins get shish kebab no matter which way we go, but while Bitcoin is sideways, going to be overall good for altcoins. And of course, Bitcoin going up versus the US dollar is obviously going to be good for altcoin US dollar pairings as well. We're just specifically talking about altcoin Bitcoin pairings here, of which there's actually several altcoins that are looking pretty damn good. I've been doing some altcoin videos on Elio Trade's channel. If you're not familiar with him, which you probably are, then you can check it out over there, as I typically just focus on Bitcoin over here, except for the odd request or two. Fear and Greed Index also at a 72, so it actually did take another step down from yesterday to today. We're still in the greedy zone, but not in the extreme greedy zone. In fact, I want to show you some over here as we get into the market data tab, specifically with the Fear and Greed Index, and then we'll get back to the other interesting stuff here as well. Where is my Fear and Greed? There it is, right there. But you'll notice that last time that Bitcoin was, around these $60,000 numbers, we were, in the 90s as far as fear and greed goes. Actually, maybe not necessarily. In fact, no, actually, sorry. When Bitcoin was around $65,000 all-time high before, we actually were in the shallow 80s and upper 70s, to be fair. So we actually are kind of comparable right there. But it is interesting to see that the market isn't getting exuberantly irrational just yet from this metric, as we did see that it really got just absolutely astronomical for months in a row as Bitcoin did break the prior all-time high at $20,000. So, obviously people are going to be optimistic when the market is, well, more or less bullish. And in this case, we have crypto bullish and regular bullish, and crypto bullish is just a different fucking echelon. So we do expect it to stay high once it does get around there, but I do suspect that we will start to see, those more crazier reads, and then it's going to be time to be, okay, let's be a little more careful here on the higher term timeframes. Of course, shorter term timeframes, complete difference from that. We've seen a $3,000, $4,000 range on the short term timeframes over the past 48 hours, and that is very much tradable. So just not really relevant if you are of that type, of which I am myself. Anyways, what do we see over here on the main data tab that I want to be checking out? Okay, so open interest actually taking another leg up right here as well, and then more importantly, the global leverage ratio is, well, at the highest level that we have seen since quite literally almost 1 year ago in November, before about a 30% correction. Very similar to what we're dealing with right now, actually. So to kind of put a bit of insight onto the title of this video, Bitcoin non-emergency warning today, it's kind of fun to play with the old clickbait there, and I do apologize if that is offensive. I'll never go the full exclamation mark and shit like that, but it is kind of fun to have some fun with. But what's a non-emergency today? So the leverage ratio being this high is obviously concerning, because the market is being, well, led by leverage. And in this case, we are going to the upside. But what does that essentially imply within the context of current price action? Because it's not a complete metric in and of itself. Obviously, we have seen very, very high leverage ratios on pretty much every major pump and major dump off of a bull trap and a bear trap. In this case, obviously coming down right here did eventually lead into, led into about a 3x move off the highs. That's not bad. And then, of course, the next time that we got around there in middle of April was the all-time high thus far, prior to just about a week ago. And then we got there a couple more times on the bear trap that we saw in late July, and then the bull trap that we saw in early September. So we're once again there, and this is only outdone by one read in the past, of which we did see in November of last year, which was resolved to the upside. So how can we sort of get an insight as to which side is a little bit, more aggressive right now? Well, we need to go into the flow analysis, and the flow analysis is actually quite conclusive here, as I've been following up on this for the last, ever since I got back from Dubai. So that's been 4 days now, maybe? Yeah, 4 days. And I was also looking at it a little bit in Dubai as well, although I didn't have as much time to invest in that. But I can assure you that over that time frame, on average, we have seen it's not a net sell, but a more aggressive market sell on perp contracts. Read that as futures, or just positions that can be quote unquote liquidated. They are at the mercy of the market throughout that whole time, actually. And right now, over the past 24 hours, we do see a net market sell of about short 103 billion with a B, that is. Spot is also net sellers, or it's not net sellers, that's the wrong way. There's always a buyer for every seller, right? And there's always seller for every buyer, but it means that people marketed more, so they're more aggressive, right? And if they're more aggressive, then they can theoretically be, manipulated easier. Now, I should denote that when both spot and perps are on the same side, it's not that simple. We are seeing some distribution up here, no doubt about that. But at the same time, I would keep the ears and eyes open towards the sort of same resolution that we saw back on over in November of last year, perhaps after maybe one more downside move to the mid $50,000 territory. I think that that's still possible here. I do believe that that would be an opportunity. Remember, Bitcoin went pretty much unabated from 40,000 all the way up to where we're at right now at new all-time highs, and there's been no higher lows printed along that trajectory. Obviously, we have higher highs. Yes, that's really, really good. And at some point, we do expect a higher low to be put in. And where could a higher low come in around? Well, it could actually be that we get a higher low at this $60,000 territory as we postulated over the weekend. For right now, that is holding true. Although I do think that, well, it's holding true for now. So, just fucking respect it until it doesn't. Of course, if Bitcoin does start to break below our $60,000 pivot, I would be really entertaining the possibilities of at least a move down to 57.5, and then probably does find a higher low somewhere around $55,000 area. If that were to happen. Again, higher term timeframes, all higher term timeframes are bullish. The question is, do we pull back first before long-term continuation into end of year, or do we just continue from right here? Of which, what would produce maximum pain? Well, if you're going back on over here and you're looking at these very aggressive sellers, kind of running away from them would be maximum pain, to be fair. You could definitely make an argument for that. Anyways, as it stands right now, let's see what we got going on right here as far as momentum oscillators go. Oh, not momentum oscillator related. In fact, what is very interesting right here, look at this, baby. BBWP is coming back down to almost single-digit percentiles right now. So this consolidation is to be considered a healthy consolidation. The way that I look at BBWP, again, our volatility indicator over here, is that as it comes down, as it contracts, we sort of interpret that as a consolidation in price action, and a consolidation within the current context of the current trend, which is obviously to the upside, would imply a higher low. So could this be the higher low right here? The longer that Bitcoin stays above $60,000, the more and more it looks like that. Yes. So of course, this would suggest that we're probably not looking at resolution like today or tomorrow, but actually, I mean, it could very well be. I mean, we have V bottomed out of this area before, and the moving average is still above 50 percentile. So that actually could work. That would be a legitimate possibility, yeah. And that actually does line up with what I did say yesterday, based off the global leverage ratio, that we're going to see the result of this, within the first 3 days, maybe at maximum at the end of this week, but probably the first 3 days of this week, of which we're on day number 2 right now. So I am expecting, a big move within this case. If it comes to the upside, we're obviously going to be, just dealing with significantly new all-time highs. If it comes to the downside, I'm generally looking towards $55,000 with a bounce somewhere around about 57.5 or so. I'm very much neutral to direction right now, although I should be biased towards the upside, and I am biased towards the upside as long as Bitcoin's above $60,000 on a full hour closure, which I think is better seen right here. And yesterday, what did I say? Yesterday, I did say that if Bitcoin did close a full hour total above this area right here, I would be essentially looking for sideways and up action. And we're right around that area right now. Technically speaking, didn't get exactly where we were looking for, but that's okay. In fact, that was coming in from this area right here. Yeah, we technically did not get exactly what we were looking for, but this is still all well and good right here. Consolidating within this region is, healthy, I suppose you could say. And by the way, on full hour BBWP, we have seen a nice contraction phase going on here as well. And I would look for resolution on this probably later today, actually, at latest like late tomorrow around US market close. That one is getting rather mature, as you can see it come down. And, what do we have right here? We have yet again another higher low. So momentum oscillators, are they suggesting any sort of a bias on direction right now? Well, not necessarily on the daily, actually. If anything, the daily would be a little bit downside bias here. What about the 2-day? Same sort of thing. What about the 12-hour? Do we have any sort of obvious thing right here as well? This one does look like more of a bullish reset. And by the way, the last 12-hour BBWP rates in this region coming in from here, and here have all led towards expansion from those regions. Obviously, all of these have been to the upside as well. It's not going to imply that's always going to be the case, but it would suggest that, again, we're probably looking at resolution, I think, at latest by end of Wednesday, US market close Wednesday, essentially. So let's go check out momentum oscillators over here and see if we got anything to add on to that. Daily Stokes actually still coming down hard right here. But again, as long as Bitcoin holds $60,000, I mean, this is, quote unquote, a healthy-ish, healthiest consolidation for the short term. I mean, the more and more that it just sits around there without actually breaking, the more bullish I will get in the short term. 4-hour Stokes going to be up on CME as long as above 61,500. And I would say that it would be relevant to be looking at that as a resolution point for the short-term timeframes to the downside on a 4-hour closure specifically. So I do technically have this at $60,000 even. We could move that up technically to about 61,500. If Bitcoin starts to close below there, problems, most likely, if you want to be super conservative, which I think is probably relevant, at least for my own style right now, I'd still be looking at about 60,000 even on an hourly or even a 4-hour closure as well. And then let's go through the other lower term timeframes here as well. And again, this is coming on declining BBWP, so that would be a little more corrective. Short-term timeframes like an hourly, 63,000 bucks going to be the magical number right there, and we do see that BBWP, or sorry, not BBWP, but HVP in this case is angled towards the downside. And if I'm looking at it on the hourly, yeah, I do think that Bitcoin probably swipes around, low 62,000 bucks, regardless whether you're bullish or bearish, yet again, and then we probably look for a nice little move to emerge around U.S. market open today. Now, I haven't shown this in a while. I don't know why. I just haven't. Well, I guess I was in Dubai, so I wasn't even linked up to this account, but I'm still running my testnet account on Deribit over here. Again, it is a testnet account. This is not real money. You can verify that by looking at the top left corner over here. I just want to kind of update on this account. We are up to 36.5 Bitcoins now. Looking good. We started this account somewhere between about 10 and 15 Bitcoins. I know it definitely wasn't 15 and it definitely wasn't 10, but it was somewhere in between there, like 12 to 14 or so. And so we built this up over the past, I think starting like July or August. And again, this is why I love options. If I can actually trade them, as you can see, well, it's not too hard to make fucking money in options land right now. I'm still actually holding the $33,000 long over here. I did cover that early October. However, I did take a loss on that cover, obviously. Now still running a pretty decent P&L on that at about 2.35 Bitcoin right there. So I realized that my face is actually in the way of like most of these instruments over here. But basically, what am I running right now? I own the $50,000 strike calls expiring end of month. Now, I had a time spread on this earlier this month. So at beginning of October, actually sold the 15th of October strike. Sorry, Jesus Christ, the 15th of October expiration at same strike, $50,000 right there. And I think, I did take a little bit of a loss on that. And then obviously this cover is going to make up for that. This spread is going to make up for that in this case right here. And then I also own the $60,000 and $68,000 call strikes. Big on these ones, actually. My 30 lot on the $6,000 call strikes, which have exploded right here. And I will actually decide if I'm going to hold these until expiration at the end of this month. And so what am I going to be basing that off of? It's actually very, very simple right here. What I'm going to be basing it off of is simply just the bi-monthly closure, which is going to be looming again in... Let's see, let me reference my calendar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 more days in this trading month. And realistically, we're probably going to see we're probably going to see about the closing prices on this Friday anyways. So, only about 3 more days. If Bitcoin closes anywhere above $57,000, yeah, I will hold those into end of year. I will have a bias towards massively new all-time highs. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm kind of drumming up the FOMO drums right now. Got to curtail myself back. I'm not on Elio's channel right now. We are in Krown's Crypto Cave, so we can talk about, more reasonable stuff. Although, hopefully I do justice on that channel as well. But yeah, looking at this right here, if Bitcoin does close above that pivot, I'm essentially looking for another expansion phase on, the bi-monthly, which is a rather powerful time frame. Anytime that we've trended above the top side trolling bands on the bi-monthly, it's, you can do the math yourself. It's been pretty impressive gains. We can go back to the first iteration where we saw this emerge from. That was from bottom to top. Actually, I should go all the way from bottom to top just to see what the full-on Moon Boy effect was. But about a little bit over 1,000% right there on a closing basis. What was it? Realized about 462 right there. Quite a difference. Log scale does certainly offer up a very interesting way of looking at price action, but you kind of need to use it for Bitcoin if you're looking at more than 10 years of price action. You're on an asset that goes XXX, right? Anyways, the time after that, the iteration right here was about 1,500%. A little bit more than 1,500%, not bad on a closing basis yet again. Okay, I'll take it. And then what do we have over here from open to close? About 300% on that last one. If I use Wix, will it be any different? Let's double check over here. Actually, did this one close above right here? Let me just, hey, where's my thingies? It did actually, yeah. So sorry, I'm starting it from the wrong trajectory. Let's do it justice then. It would be more like 420% actually, very close to 420%. Just playing around with numbers. I'm curious to see if this is going to match up with any long-term Fibonacci targets, which I guess already. Oh my God, we have too many on here. Let's get rid of some of this shit. Should we take the macro on this one? Sure, why not? And let's just measure out. What would it look like if Bitcoin did something comparable to those ones? 200% puts you at, oh my fucking God. I don't even want to repeat these numbers, man. You can look at them yourself. They're ridiculous, essentially. But are they are they validated by data from the past? Perhaps yes. I guess that's where you can get these crazy like $200,000 targets and whatnot. Look, I'm not fucking saying that right now, man. If that's gonna happen, it's not happening anytime soon. I'd really want to see first this monthly's closure and bi-monthly closure, and then yeah, we can talk about some moon boy targets. And before any of that, realistically, I'm going to be looking somewhere around about 90,000 to 111,000 bucks. Again, this is talking about the very, 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 very long term right now, so I do need to be deliberately clear with that. And then what I actually want to do before we get into the comments, yet again, which we are already 20 minutes into this video, 28 minutes, I should say, is that we should go down to the short-term timeframes right on over here and just see kind of where we're at. What's funny actually? If I had the same pivot on I did have the same pivot on CME versus spot price action. My pivot on spot price action actually did get verified to the upside right here. We did close above that region on a 4-hour dildo at 63,000 bucks. CME did not, above that same relevant pivot. So which one do I run with? I always favorite CME over spot price action. But if I do want to be a little bit more bullish in the short term, I'm looking at this right here. And you know what I could say? You know what I could go as far as saying is, hey, and I don't think this is going to work out, by the way. I think that spot is going to be is not going to be correct here. But I could say that, hey, as long as spot is above, let's call it 62,000 bucks on an hourly closure, I'm looking for this one to trade sideways and up outside of this range. I don't think that that's what's happening right here. I do think that CME is the more accurate chart, and we clearly do not have a closure above that same pivot. It's right at it. It's literally right fucking at it, but not above it, unfortunately. So, it's not unfortunate. Look, it's fucking trading at the end of the day. Short term, again, I'm probably looking for one more move to the downside. 61.5 is certainly not out of the question. Just don't want to see any 4-hour closures below there. Otherwise, that's really going to start to entertain the possibilities of an actual break of $60,000. Still would like to see it, though, in real time below this region on even an hourly dildo would do it for me. And then, yeah, 57.5 and 6,000 bucks kind of where I'm looking for. Until then, any price action above 6,000 bucks is, short-term, medium-term, and long-term bullish for me. Maybe not short-term. I'd say short-term, obviously going to be down, but medium and long-term and macro is going to be all bullish right there. So it just depends kind of what time frame that you're looking at right now. Anyways, I've spoken my fucking face off on this stream thus far. I think it's time for it's time for a little bit more of a community interaction here. Celsius says, yeah, shut up. Holy shit, we just passed 500 likes. Holy fucking moly, man. That is insane. I actually can't, man, I need to figure out some better words to express my gratitude. Anyways, I'm going to take another sip of this water. I'm going to need it today, baby, but my voice is feeling okay now, so hopefully this one holds through. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. What does Elsa have lined up for me over here? BK wants to look at Luna. Yeah, we can look at Luna. Definitely, this would be a good one to record as well. Good old Luna over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking yeah. Here we have Terra Luna, symbol LUNA versus the dollar. And I want to follow up on this one from, I believe we spoke about it yesterday. It does look like we have, yet again, another higher low, actually. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4... count them, higher lows right there. I still would have an invalidation for this whole setup below the same pivot as yesterday, 34.25 or so. As long as we're above here, as long as Luna's above there, better said, I do look for this to be resolved to the upside. This is this is a consolidation at a very, very high level. This is looking fucking good, man, is what it's looking like. If we go over here to the 5-day, I should denote that 5-day BBWP has actually come off these same levels a few times. Sorry, maybe that's not as relevant. Let's go over to a daily. I'm sure that there's some on a daily. There is on a daily. Yeah, we've come down to this about 10 percentile level many times before. And in this case, I'm going to have an upside bias with it. And I suspect that, just based off the last iteration right here, which did produce a move of about 132%. Holy shit. To the upside, not bad. Obviously, volatility is direction neutral, and the prior iteration before that was an 80% move to the downside. But my point is that these are, mega moves right here, as is this one, coming out of this major base for a 275% gainer almost over the next 69 days, and then 7,000 over time. Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, we're probably looking at, a nice move here relatively soon, I would say. Probably before end of week, if I had to guess, for this one to get going. Daily RSIs, obviously a lot more on the bullish side than bearish side, consolidating around the bullish control zone. That is overall good. Daily Jewel also in a good posturing as well here. If we're just going to play around with numbers, even on the lower end, I think that this one did like 100%. It's already in price. It's already, as far as I'm concerned, in price discovery. This is very, very strong. Again, it comes with an invalidation condition as long as not as long as, but if Luna goes below 34 and a quarter, especially on a daily closure, then yeah, I'm looking for corrections down to mid 20s first. But until then, man, this is looking really, 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 really good. I believe, actually, if I recall from yesterday, the weekly Stokes also just turned up freshly here as well. Yep, they did actually at basically $39. It's gonna have a fresh cross the upside. We've seen this actually 2 times in history before on this time frame, in this sort of trajectory, and both of these did lead up towards some pretty, well, dare I say, impressive moves. That's a 375% move right there. This one right here doesn't look like much, but it's almost 200%. So I will just leave it as such. And again, if this thing does close above $39 by end of week or just by Friday, I'm generally looking for a continuation here. I imagine the 5 days probably more or less the same as well. Yeah, it's more or less the same here as well. This one looking pretty damn good for the long term. I'm curious if we see anything extra over. Wait, nope, not on this chart. If we see anything extra over here, maybe it's at a precipice that we want to be aware of, perhaps, or where would our resolution of the upside condition be? Yeah, pretty damn simple right here. 46 and a half, it looks like, on a daily closure. We're going to see volatility expansion alongside trend continuation. And, well, we got trend, momentum, and volatility all kind of aligning like the stars right now. So, again, always comes with an invalidation. Nothing is 100% guaranteed to work out, but not a bad chart, you might say. Not a bad chart as this one continues to just float upwards and onwards. And there you go for Luna, sir. Hey, what's up? Inspire Growth in Action. Welcome, man. Welcome to the cave, sir. Good to have you in here. Oh, there he is, Wally, Mr. Junior. We'll call him fucking Junior. Starting to grow on me, Mr. Junior. You're sticking around. You're seemingly like a good young guy. You're excited about shit. And well, it seems like people are rallying around you, man. I'm happy for that. I'm very happy for that. How we looking with Plan B's prices? I don't fucking know Plan B's prices. How are we looking with them? I don't know. I think he had like a $63,000 December or October, end of October target. Let me just see. Plan B low side target. Let me just see if this pops anything up. Yeah, I don't. It's, what is it, like the base target or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's $63,000. At the end of this month, and then probably like 80,000 at the end of the next one, something like that, if memory serves me correctly. How we looking on it though? That's not my game over here. We're looking at technicals. He's looking at underlying fundamentals. Different game, but I respect it because he's had very, very good results, and he deserves a lot of respect for that, especially after all the shit that he got. In the past couple of years here, he's really proven himself to be, the man essentially. What's up, BK Badger USD for our daily weekly? Sure, let's check this one out. Badger. Hey, isn't this a fucking Wally coin as well? The Badger coin. What the fuck is this thing? It's looking good, man. I'd be looking for short-term continuation of 35 and a half or so. I'd be looking for breakouts above there. 4 hours is a short-term breakout. Obviously, trending above the top side trailing band on volume is going to be good. I'm looking for very, very short-term continuation to about 33 and a quarter, maybe a short-term pullback there, and then look for it to lead into the daily above 35 and a half. I look for this one to trend. Big time, big time relatively speaking. I'd be looking for moves back around about, $49 or so. This one is okay, I suppose. It just doesn't have too much history, unfortunately. And then you want to look at Aave. Okay, this one was super popular beginning of 2021, if I recall. Haven't heard too much about it recently, but I think you're going to start to hear some more about it, man. This one's pretty primed. This one's actually very primed, in fact. Let's do a video on it. Here we have symbol AAVE, Aave, versus the dollar. I don't know if there's like an actual name for it. Is it Avalanche? No, it can't be. That's AVAX. Anyways, looking at this right here, we do have a bit of a setup going on right now. This one did print what appears to be, I imagine, a weekly higher low. Yes, we do. Low number one right here, higher low number two right there. any sort of a weekly closure, especially above 320, is going to be looking really, really good for a retest back around your late August highs, in my opinion. And then daily is actually about to enter into a bit of an expansive phase right here, as it does trade above the topside trolling band. So short term today, if you do close above, let's see, 326, let's call it, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'd be looking for this one to work its way up to about 360 or so throughout the rest of the week, and then look for the weekly to take over, probably coming into November, as I would generally be looking towards your August highs, and at that point, it just looks like a reaccumulation. I mean, this would be pretty fucking good, man. It's a weekly, and it's been under consolidation for almost 6 months now, actually. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for well, should we do maybe just one slight amount more? Yeah, let's go over here and see what momentum says on this baby. Ave. Whoa, hey, did I just see a weekly Stokes about to turn up? No, 350 going to be the magical number right there. Not anytime soon. Daily is above, as long as above 320. Interesting. And what about 5 day? 5 days of fresh cross the upside. By the way, also playing out this trend line right here. It looks like above 305. Volatility also on the ground. This looks quite prompt, man. I dare I say that Ave is going to be a very, very interesting chart to follow up on, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, if I had to guess. Hopefully that's helpful, sir. Cool. What's up, B. Arthur's Ding? What's up, Mr. Dingus? Dude, miss you, bro. Welcome home. Thanks, man. Miss you as well, sir. Look at OHM. Okay, so this is the Ecomi, or no, it's Olympus. All right. Okay, we'll look at it. Pretty good. Actually, pretty damn good, man. Never gonna hate anything that's pretty much at all-time highs. So you're saying in talk if the couple and handle is relevant on all time frames or just longs? You mean just like long time frames? Is this cup and handle? Technically not. No. I mean, look, you don't need to put a fucking name on many formations. All formations pretty much boil down to trends, is what they typically boil down to. In this case, what do you have here? You got some higher lows, you got some higher highs, you're in a trend into an uptrend. What is a technical name for this formation? It would technically be a W formation, or yeah, technically be a W formation, unless if you're maybe going in the past right here and looking at it as some sort of an ascending triangle. But either which way, good. I mean, these are essentially bullishly resolved formations more often than not. So looking good right there, man. Looking very, very good, actually. Hey, all right. So it sounds like you got a little. Hey, sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think we're good there. What's up, Rolando P? Krown, just heartfelt thank you. Thanks, man. Please shout out to my friends watching you here with me. Adrian, Mary, Angelita. Ooh, a very exotic name, Angelita. It's like an angel. Also, analysis on compound hourly. Sure, man. It broke 330. Okay, let's check it out. Must be either you're in Latin America or you're like Portuguese or maybe Spanish. Of which we're actually looking at cool places in Portugal and Spain as well. But first things first, we want to go back to Dubai. Anyways, on the daily, I really like this, by the way. Just as an aside, I mean, you got regular many drives of regular bullish evidence right there, and volatility's on the ground, and all momentum oscillators are bullishly postured. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing make a move up towards 385 or maybe even 430 over time. Man, I'm just being a fucking bull moron recently. But I suppose this is time to be kind of it. Hourly has broke. Yep, I would agree. The hourly is trending right now. Maybe a bit of a short-term pullback, can pull back all the way down to that 335 level or so. That's not problematic as long as you're above 330 especially. I look for this one to trade sideways and up outside of this range, with probably a short-term pullback here implied, just because BBWP is so high right now. So a bit of a short-term consolidation, completely fine. All of the time frames are trending right now, so I would respect that. Generally speaking, I'm looking towards continuation. Next general stops are somewhere around about 375 to 380 or so on even the medium-term time frames. Looking good. Looking very, very good right there, my friend. Concentrated Quattro. ICP on short, medium, and long-term, please. I don't think there's any long-term on ICP, man. This one's only been around for like a few months, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. Short term, well, hold on. Let's go. Man, this thing just loves to be sold. This thing just loves to be fucking sold, huh? Man, that is a tough looking. That is a chart only a mother could love. Look, I suspect that you still got some predatory VCs in this thing and everything, and they're just looking to dump every fucking upside move here. I do think that you have a bit of an interesting setup right here, though, just based off the volume signature, as this one is really starting to pour in. So could this be the reversal that you're looking for? Perhaps yes. I would not say it's confirmed yet, though. I want to see this one close above about $55.5. Even on a 4-hour, that look pretty damn good for getting this one back up around your early September highs. Over time, daily. Same thing. Would like to see it close above that level. Short term, I suppose, I suppose I'd be angled towards the upside. Short term, as long as this one's above about $47 on a daily closure, but I don't like the amount of selling pressure on this one, so I'm not going to be too quick to be calling a reversal here. Yeah, that is fucking intense right there, man. Jesus. But hey, again, as long as it holds that level, I suppose sideways is good for the Bulas, does reset a few things. And of course, if you start to close above this pivot right here, that's where I'd really start to get excited for the potentially long term. But, again, for something that's been around for, since May, there's not really long term to be speaking about, just short and medium term in this case, in the way that I define things. And, it's good right here. I mean, the volume signature does suggest a change of behavior. It's just I don't want to be the first person to call that on an asset that looks like this over time. Yeah, kind of nasty. Very, very tough right there. I need to take another sip of this. Might be tea time, actually. Are you long on scrotum? I'm balls deep on scrotum. Let's see. Franz says, hey, man, good to see you. Good to see you as well, sir. mRNA, stock. Okay, yeah, let's look at this. This is Moderna, I believe. Yeah, I actually would like it. Thank you, sir. Elle's going to cook me up some tea really quickly. And what time frame are you looking at here? Daily, weekly, okay, higher term time frames. Is this the one that's getting banned in like a lot of the Nordic countries? If so, well, you're going to see a lot of like fundamentally driven things on a, on a name like this that's like in the news regularly. Whenever I see something like that, I don't think that tentacles are that as relevant, let's say. Yeah, you like my mess over there? Oh, sorry. My bad. Can you hand me my phone over there as well? Anyways, looking at this right here, I would be looking for a short-term pop-up, regardless of whether I'm bullish or bearish, somewhere around about 380 or so. The question is, do you put in a lower high below $400? If you do, over the next few weeks, then yeah, this one very likely works its way down towards 250 over time. But short-term, I would be bullish here, and I would be looking for a move, like I said, somewhere around about 380, maybe even as much as $400. If you see any sort of weakness around $400, that's where this one starts to look really, really bad. Guys, what did I do with my phone? Oh, it's charged. Nice. Hey, sweet. I did it. All right, Gemini Athlete wants to look at Matic. Yeah, man, let's look at Matic. This was another more interesting altcoin chart that was popping up its head over the past week here or so. And look at this one, man, right at the top side of this baby, right at the fucking top side there. Okay, should we record one on this one? Here we have Matic. We have a very interesting setup right here because this one's quite mature as it has consolidated around the highs for the past 6 months or so. That's building up a really, really big cause in Wyckoff terms, which typically implies a bigger effect, meaning that the, well, in this case, the breakout most likely is going to be rather powerful, you might say. And we are right at the breakout precipice as well. With the daily closure above 176, I would say that this one is officially broken out. We do have that beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 higher lows. In fact, there should be 4 right here. If it is going to run off from this current level, that does imply an invalidation below about $1.50, meaning that if this one does lose $1.50 on a daily closure, I would be looking for it to work its way back down to the bottom side of the range. I'd still give it a chance down here, but perhaps something new could be going on right there. I wouldn't be as inherently bullish. With that in mind, we do see that BBWP is still kind of in a contraction phase here. So, well, I do think that this one either breaks out this week or, well, you're probably going to test the downside of the range, to be fair. Looking at the weekly right here, again, just most getting a lot more bullish signals than not. Hidden bullish evidence come off that last low back in the bullish control zone on a weekly RSI. 5-day looking good as well. Back into the bullish control zone, by the way, for the first time in a couple months there. Looking good here as well. Curious what momentum also to say over here. And then we can wrap this one up maybe with some breakout targets if we so desire. But looking at the daily, 157.5 going to be the magical number to keep daily Stokes to the upside. 5-day is going to be freshly crossing up. Actually is freshly crossed up and remain with upside momentum, rejecting the bearish control zone as long as we're above 135. And then weekly, yeah, just straight shot up above 136. So I quite like this one, man. I quite like this one. Yeah, this is good. This is good. The question is, does it come back down for a bottom side test one more time? Again, below 150, that would be my disposition. Until then, sideways and up is the name of the game, man. All momentum oscillators are bullish. And, if you do break above that upside pivot here at 176, I'd be looking for a nice move up to about 220 or so, actually, before the next sort of short-term, medium-term stop. And then long-term, can we come up with some ridiculous Fibonacci targets here? I'm sure that we can. Well, let's just see where the bots and algos is going to be looking like on this one. I would be looking for a move essentially past $3 to about three and a quarter. Long term, after a bit of a consolidation there, and we're talking like months down the road now, could be seeing maybe around $7 to $8 or so. Yeah, powerful chart right there, man. Powerful chart. Nothing bearish about this chart long term, as long as you're again above, actually more like 1.25, but 150 is kind of like my line in the sand for short term, medium term bullishness for what it's worth. And hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Polygon Matic. What's up, Zerderp? Good. He has a great question over here. Krown, do you take Adderall? No, I do not, man. In fact, I'm actually, I really don't like Adderall. I've tried it in college a few times. Man, like I had this fucking weird experience in college where I drank on Adderall and drank alcohol, obviously. And it's like no matter how much I drank, I could not get fucking drunk. And then it was just like a terrible experience because the next day I woke up in like the worst state ever, man. It's fucking awful. So never again after that. Yeah, man, I'm not an Adderall person. I'm kind of, I guess it's just coffee, man. It's just fucking coffee. But you've also, I'm a boomer. You've also seen me actually mostly caffeine-less over the past couple weeks here. So I don't know, man. That's I guess that's just the state that I get in when I'm looking at charts. And well, I want to do as much as possible in the shortest time possible. I got a lot of things to say, man. So I suspect that's what that question is going off of right there. Oh, it's tea time, motherfucker. It's tea time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Hey, you're the tea maker. So what does that make you? Mamba for Life says Phantom FTM USD 15 hourly and daily. Sure. I happen to have already looked at this one earlier today, and well, spoiler surprise, it's fucking good, man. What in the actual fuck is this thing doing? Jesus Christ. Alrighty. Here we have symbol sorry. Let me retry this. Here we have Phantom, symbol FTM versus the dollar, another Sam coin. We haven't followed up on this one in a while, but it is starting to hit some of our more interesting targets that we had way back on from early October breakout right here. Actually at the 2.618, we've already seen the consolidation around that level. So what are the next areas of interest to the upside? We're actually at one of them right now at 338 or so. So I would be looking for a bit of a short-term pullback around that region, but almost never do I see, I can't recall any times where I've seen a long-term top around that region. Probably look for it to work its way up, around $4, maybe even 4.25 around end of year. I mean, this is one of the best charts that we've seen today. Obviously, there's going to be pullbacks and consolidations lower on the short-term timeframes in between there, but short-term, short-term very likely does gun for that 338 region, or 335 plays out a bit of a pullback from there. And then any sort of a consolidation that just doesn't crack back down below, let's call it 240, I'm looking for that to lead towards long-term continuation around end of year towards those next upside targets. Not too much to do as far as analysis goes on this one. I mean, we've already kind of seen the resolution of a lot of these ranges over time. So I'm still looking at 4-hour BBWP as kind of getting this move, and we're not even above 80 percentile right now. We're actually at 75 in some odd change percentile right there. So I look for this one to continue short term, actually from here essentially. Hourly, what do we see right here? Hourly is getting way up there at 96 percentile. I expect that this one's going to get up for multiple reads at 100 percentile before we do see a bit of a short-term pullback. And again, once that pullback does happen, I'm just looking for higher lows, man. This is good. This is fucking good, huh? This is fucking good. You don't need to have much experience to look at this chart and say, okay, it's good. Good chart, man. Good chart. Let's see. I'm sure that this one's also trending above the top side trend band here too. Let's see. Yep, of course. Weekly trending above, as long as above 285. So that's looking nice right there. Daily also freshly above after that last consolidation, as long as above $3 even. Yeah, I'm looking for this one to continue sooner rather than later, and then pull back after those next set of targets is hit. And long term, probably among some of the better charts. This is, like I said, the best chart that we've seen today. Very, very powerful right here. Very reminiscent. I mean, Bitcoin's kind of at like this stage right here, so you can kind of see that this market is working off in varying degrees of strength right now. And this one would be among some of the strongest, as we've been saying for the past couple months here since we started following this one. Nice one, and hopefully that was helpful, sir. Or actually, you asked about very low term time frames. So we did do an hourly right there. Again, hourly. I wouldn't, again, anything above $3 is completely fair game. If you're looking at like a 15-minute, this one's continuation from here as well. I mean, it's still trending here, man. This is powerful. ADR is just turning up as well, man. I'm looking for expansion first. Wow. Powerful Phantom, man. Powerful Sam coins. All right, let me just think this tea bag is almost fully saturated. Come on. We need full saturation before we do some sipping action. What's a boomer thing to fuck off with your boomer things to say? Look, this is my teas. I'm about to bust through on all your fucking T action. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. There we go. There we go. What's up, Legend LEZs? Sir, where have you been this whole time? Sir, I've been, I was in Dubai for a while. I even went to Scott's mom's looking for you. Well, she's been a lazy beezy over there, but somehow, some way, I finally got my fucking fleshlight back. So many questions, so little time. Silver, weekly, monthly, okay, and AMD. God damn it, man. We really like to do just one at a time, man. There are a lot of people to hear today, but because we are good friends, I'll do it just for you, sir. All right, you're looking at a weekly, monthly here, long-term time frames. Make this nice and easy. Silver, good. Short term, you did get the move that we were looking for in order to salvage it short term, so I can't be immediately bearish on this one any longer. I'm looking for short-term moves, short term based off of a weekly, so over the next few weeks here, very likely back up to $24 or so. Man, this would be a fucking pain in the ass to trade. I do not like this thing, man. We got close to our downside target about 1930, but not quite there. We got down to 1983. Yeah, whippy washy, but gonna play off the news obviously alongside gold and all other more or less harder assets. Monthly, not as interesting here. I'm curious what the bi-monthly looks like. Okay, bi-monthly evens it out a lot more. I would say that give this one a chance to actually put in a macro low right here, especially with the way that the weekly is looking. As long as it's one above about 22 and a quarter, I would err on the side of short-term sideways and up, and more immediately upwards right there. AMD. Let's see what we got on AMD Advanced Micro Derps. Good. We've been bullish on this one for a while, and I continue to be bullish on it. Look at the monthly right here. Any sort of a closure above 122.5. I'm looking for new all-time highs coming into end of year here. Let's just see where we can grab some targets right here. Actually, we're right at the 1618, so we've already consolidated off of the August sell-off right there, so that condition's already been fulfilled. Probably looking end of year around 130 to maybe even 145, 150 if things get really crazy. I mean, it's a great stock. I just hate their products, man. Fair enough. What's up, Shell Wong Kim? Good day to you as well, sir. Matic. Did we already do Matic? Yeah, we did do Matic. So all good right there, man. Unless you want to see something very specific, we can go back to it, but just let us know. And then you also want to look at Atom. Yeah, we can definitely do Atom. This is another one that I've been meaning to kind of follow up on. If I recall, there's a nice little setup right here. Oh, I think that this squiggly line is going to be wrong, man. This one's looking more ready than not. I need to redraw it. My squiggly lines can't be wrong. Can't be wrong. It's going to be something like that, man. Unless we get another rejection right here. As to which I'll just undo it, man. The fucking stupid squiggly lines. Hate those things, man. Just fucking hate those things. It's not even meant as like people think that like I'm talking about shit about them if I even talk about that. No, man. It has nothing to do with other people. I just think that they're silly. That's all. Anyways, Atom USD over here. Let's see. Yeah, we should record this one. Let me just take another sippy sip. Another long-term setup staring us in the face with Cosmos symbol ATOM versus the dollar here. As the I'm guessing we're on the 2-day right now, but both the daily and the 2-day suggesting some vol plays and also some momentum plays. Both of them showing hidden bullish divergence, and volatility is on the floor. In fact, we've actually never even seen volatility this low on the 2-day. On the daily, we've gotten to 0% before. Obviously, it's only relevant towards the look-back period, but still, the last time we saw a read like this was coming in from this low over here, and that led towards, 136% move over the next 33 days, and then 350 over the next 61 days. Do we have another example that we can go over to get a general idea of what we're looking at right here? Yes, indeed, we do. This one, an almost immediate gain of about 81% over the next 29 days, and over the next 60 days, 267%. Not bad. This one over here, obviously coming to the downside, so we'll just ignore that one. Obviously, volatility is direction neutral here, but and then we have kind of this iteration right here as well, which you can probably already guess. Anyways, should come up with an invalidation condition as we are right here, right now. As long as this thing's above 32 and a quarter on a daily closure, I am, more or less long-term bullish on it, looking for essentially sideways and up out of this range. And we could call a resolution, more importantly, should we be more aggressive? Should we be more conservative? I think it would be okay to be right around here. These last few wick highs probably gonna be about right at about 36 and a third. Above there, I would be looking for the next leg up towards the 1618 at 42 and a quarter. At that point, you're already around your prior time high, and with volatility this low and expansion, zooming in front of your face. I mean, we'll just measure some out here. 100% does put you around the 272. 618 puts you around $100, so $7,200 probably around end of year if I had to guess, assuming that you do get that breakout. There will be pullbacks along the way. Obviously, if we're going down to a 4-hour time frame, it's going to be a significantly different picture. Short term below about 34 and a quarter. Still, it's kind of where I'd be looking for on a bit of a short term, getting, I guess, looking for downside back onto the downside of the range. Again, about $32 or so. Would be looking for short term pullbacks again around 42 and a quarter, but as long as those pullbacks just don't violate this current breakout area at around, 37 and a half. I'm looking for those to just be another higher low on the daily and very likely work its way upwards and onwards as well. In fact, this one might even be ready today. BBWP is on the floor right here. So this one is essentially ready to move. Let's see how we looking like over here on the daily. Yeah, we're right around the top side Toronto bound. Same resolution point, $37. 5-day. Okay, not going to be as relevant right here. Please ignore the squiggly line though. And maybe we can get a little bit more help with the bias over here as well as to whether it's like more likely to resolve this week or not. Looking at the daily, up as long as above 34 and 44. 2-day freshly up above 31 and a half. 5-day will pop up above 39 and 70 or so. So again, if Bitcoin does dump out below $60,000, I imagine that this one will obviously, take more time within this region and probably give another test down to about $32. Until then, as long as Bitcoin holds it sideways, especially above 60, I'd be a little more on the more immediately bullish side with a resolution above 37 and a half on a 4-hour closure even wouldn't do it for me. With that said, hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Cosmos. Adam, nice one. All right, let me get another sippy sip right here. That'll do it outdoors, says, please check out Bepro. Yep, 1 second, sir. Janik says, Plan B knows nothing. How many? Lol. Well, I mean, we can agree to disagree on that, man, but well, we can just agree to disagree on that, man. If you're talking about like the base, or whatever the fuck he relates that concept as, for his targets, I think that's been phenomenal actually. But if you're talking about like his moon boy targets, that has obviously not been too accurate so far. So you have to give credit where credit is due. Bepro, very similar setup to the one that we just saw right there. Grinded up against the topside resistance. Is it ready to break just yet? Volatility pointed up with the moving average also getting a positive slope. Does say it very well could be actually. Very well could be. I would technically like to see it close above 1.5 cent. And then, yeah, I'd be looking for a retest of your late August highs. And then very likely does just continue onwards and forwards. Now, what timeframes were you looking at here? No timeframes given. What the fuck am I looking at, man? What the fuck is this? You should know better, man. You should know better. But you look, is this a reaccumulation on a weekly? Probably yes. I mean, this market is almost all the same formations on the weekly. It's basically a higher low and then continuation, mostly across the board, just in varying degrees of strength. Bpro looking pretty damn good here. I would like to add an invalidation condition below about 1.2 cent. As long as you're above there, I'm generally looking for this one to trade sideways and up outside of this range. Volatility does say that we probably are looking for a break of this sooner rather than later. And in this case, that would imply trend continuation here. Let's see. Sam B. Sorry, man. I am having difficulty with my stutter on that last name there. Apologies. Good day, sirs and hers. Yay, there we go. FMG on the ASX daily and weekly. Okay, FMG. Okay, so we got a stock here, a real thing. And you're looking at a daily and weekly. Gotcha. Okay, daily, hanging at the lows in a distributed fashion. Weekly, probably going to bounce off the 200 on the first pass here. And we haven't really gotten a good one just yet. I'd be looking for a bounce to $16 first before anything else. You can. The reason why I'm also saying that is because BBWP got maxed out here on the weekly, got to 100 percentile, and you're on a major moving average right there. It's probably going to bounce over the next month or so. I think very, very likely to $16.5 is extremely likely right there. You might even get continuation if you're lucky towards 18.5 to 19. Long term, is this one wrecked or not? Long term, I would be willing to call a long term top. I just think that it bounces from here first, and then you come back to it. The only way that I'd negate my long term top call is if this thing starts to close back up about $21.5. But yeah, short term, short term on a daily probably gives one more try towards your $14 level. Again, I think that this one bounces first before any long-term continuation of the downside. But this is an obvious distributive top right here, and is a pretty conclusive move as well. So bounce first, give a bit of a bull trap somewhere around here would be textbook, and then, well, you can probably guess the rest. So I'm gonna take another sip of this coffee, or no, tea, while you marinate on those thoughts, sir. All right, let's see what else we got. Super Googly, what's up, man? Can we look at Wing BTC? Okay, yeah, we have a Bitcoin pair in here. See how it's doing. I've never heard of this asset before, and it's trending towards zero on the against Bitcoin, as most things probably will be. Short term is bouncy. Let's see. Actually, just got another drop of hidden bearish divergence right there. I don't think that that's playable. This is just a it's just in a liquid shitcoin is what it looks like. I do think that you're in a more of a bouncy posturing than not. Probably gives one more trap to 38.80 before anything else. But let's see. What am I missing over here? Yeah, you're just asking about the daily. Maybe the 4 hour can give us an idea. I'm inclined to say next move up short term, anywhere around about, where is the daily level? Anywhere around about 3,800 or so is fair game. You know, if it really wants to get going and it starts to actually close above, let's call it 4,000 Satoshis, I'd look for a continuation up to 47, maybe even 4,800. And I'd be looking for lower highs around that region. Long term, obviously bearish, just short term bouncy here is kind of what I'd be looking at. Where to negate that call or just look for, you know, immediate downside continuation, daily closure on new lows below about 31.40 would do it for me. Until then, I'm kind of looking for a bounce from here. It's been beat up to shit, man. It only knows downside, baby. It only knows downside. It only knows that the shitcoin police are coming in fucking hot on this one. Jesus, man. I'm sure that the US dollar parent is doing whatever Bitcoin's doing though. So that would be like the silver lining on everything. What's up, Saturn Epoch? Good morning to you, man. Rose USD. How bad are things here? Let's see. I think it's been like a week since we looked at this one. How bad are things here? I wouldn't say it's. I don't think it's bad actually. No. I'm looking at this as probably your next higher low at 18 cents. As long as that holds. Again, we see the same sort of formation amongst pretty much all of the market, and this one you kind of have to be looking at that on the first pass here. I would expect to see some hidden bullish evidence if that's going to be true, and we actually don't see that. So that would be a good indication that this one does trade lower. Now, can I come up with a bit of a short-term range here to actually get that? Yeah, this one's actually quite simple. 4 hour closure below about 17.83 cent, and yeah, I'm looking for this one to come back down and test around 16 cents or so and try for a low around there. Obviously to the upside, a lot more simple right here. Back above about 19.5 cent on a 4 hour closure. I'm looking for a retest to the top side of your current range at about 21.25 or so. Other than that, you know, I would still err on the side of the long-term uptrend here. It's just, you know, it's going to depend on whatever Bitcoin does here, man. If Bitcoin does crack below 60,000, you're probably going to find this one around maybe not just 16 cents, but perhaps even all the way down to 15 cents, somewhere between there. So it really depends on what Bitcoin does here, as you know, pretty much as always. But you know, long term, I don't think it's necessarily bad. The weekly is a lot more downside angled. The weekly does say 15 cents for what it's worth. If I'm just looking at the 15 and 5 day, yeah, actually the 5 day and the weekly both suggesting a downside move for somewhere around 16 cents for what it's worth there. But I'd still be looking at the 4 hour range as kind of the way, at least in the way that I'd play that. Not that this is financial advice, of course. What's up, Crypto Chrissy? Good morning to you. GM, yeah, that's the old crypto Twitter meme right now. Thank you. I do appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Can you check out FTM long term? I think we got that one. We can just go quickly back towards it. I believe this one was the one that's just bullish on pretty much all time frames. Yeah. Oh yeah. So again, I think we're even seeing continuation from when we just spoke about it earlier, right there. Okay. Okay, so we're all good there, or does she have another one? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks like it actually already just took another 4 cent leg up since we last spoke about it. Jesus Christ, man, that is quite the chart right there. What's up, Jack? Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you. Ethereum, Bitcoin, 4 hour and 12 hour. This would be a very good one to check in as of this moment. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, you are looking at a 4 hour and a 12 hour. Okay, so yesterday, I believe I said on the daily, wow, it did actually close. No, it didn't necessarily close below the low of the prior. So kind of got to give it a chance here, actually. And you do have potential phantom div about to be put in on this one. Man, this is just a tough chart right here because, you know, you still operate on lower highs. You do have potential higher low, right? You do have potential reversal staring you in face though. So let's actually go through your time frames that you asked for. Okay, let's make this more relevant to you. 4 hour, you know, you technically speaking, I should be treating this as a short-term, well, in this case, continuation because you already had the reversal, as long as you are above about 6.5 million Satoshis. And sideways within this region right here is good, it's constructive. Short-term, does it come back down and test around 6.6 million Satoshis again? Maybe, yeah. I don't know if you're too concerned about that or not, but as long as you're above that level, man, I mean, this is just another lower high, or sorry, a higher low, and 4 hour time frame is a confirmed reversal. If you're looking at the 12 hour specifically, oh, okay, this one, now I understand why you asked about this one instead of the daily. This one looking a lot more obvious here as well. You know, technically speaking, you got to kind of play this one as a higher low, as your first higher low in the 12 hour. As long as you're above basically yesterday's downside pivot, I'd even say a 12-hour closure below 6.6 million Satoshis would do it. I think that you're going to probably test that level regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish, but as long as you're above it, should be looking at the short and medium term timeframes as a reversal right here. Yeah, I guess if that happens, I mean, daily's going to confirm another drive of phantom div right here. So, you know, at that point, where's your next sort of targeted region? Probably somewhere around 7 million Satoshis. Man, I would have gotten whipped around a shit ton on this one. But it does look like now on the higher term timeframes, like the weekly, that we do have our next higher low in place. And if I'm looking at the weekly, yeah, I would be biased towards the upside. And what do you know? Hidden bullish evidence right here. Volatility on the floor. And this thing is going to fucking move. Holy shit. Yeah, monthly is just test down to the 10 simple. So that's why I was interpreting a slight more move to the downside more than what we got. Oh, well, in that case, I suppose, yeah, I can't really chalk that one up as a victory, but man, long-term still looking very, very good right there. Very, very good. So I'd give, you know, I'd still kind of treat it as a reversal. Again, with that condition in mind, but this is looking good. This is looking good. If it does crack back down below that 6.6 million Satoshi region on a closing basis, I would look for another run at the lows, but it can't really be looking for continuation to new lows just yet. Just a bounce around there would be my first sort of interpretation of that, and then I want to come back to it. But for now, this is a reaccumulation at the highs. That's good. Good, dare I say. Need another sippy sip of this. Rajanal E says ALBT. Yeah, let's go check it out. Oh man, that is some strong lemon ginger. All right, what was this one? Oh yeah, ALBT. I remember this one. I think that it stood out as having one of the more interesting charts, just going like straight up. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So this one did correct down. I'm guessing we already have this level actually marked off. Oh no, I don't even have it charted here. I do look at this as, yeah, I do look at this as likely your next major low right here, 67.5 cent or so. Any price action between here and here is, well, I guess more like here actually. Can't be too aggressive on something like this, but 94 cents and 67.5 cents very likely does get resolved to the upside. I mean, that would be your next sort of complex higher low after, well, 1, 2, 3, working on 4. I mean, that is good as long as that condition is met. Now, I would call a major reversal actually on this one if you do start to close below 67 or 67.5 cent region, looking for big moves down to, you know, basically half a buck, 55 cents or 60 cents or so, and then come back to it after that. But right now, I think you give it the benefit of the doubt just based off that short but interesting history going on right here. Volatility starting to tick up on the 4 hour. I'm curious if the daily's doing the same. No, we don't have enough history here to really give it too much. 12 hour certainly does, and 12 hour is absolutely on the floor as well. I look at this as very likely putting in a low right here. Momentum also is also suggesting the same thing as well, and the 12 hour jewel actually might give a nearly perfect signal if this one does start to close back above about 78.5 cent. Probably good enough to get it back around the top side of the range, and then, well, got to start to look towards the long term after that. But yeah, I actually do think that this one is probably setting a major low right there. Again, always comes with an invalidation, and you know, my opinion on whether it's on what it's doing is pretty much irrelevant. The invalidation areas and then the overall levels, that's what I stick by. Essentially, that's what I trade off of myself. Not that I'm trading this thing to begin with, but in general. Kudzai Fendi, hopefully I'm saying that properly, ma'am. You can check out KSM Kusama bin Laden. Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Top side of the range. Jesus Christ. Too many lines. Too many lines. Let's just chart this one for the daily. How about that? That'd be the wise thing to do here. No time frames given, so I'm just gonna roll with this one. We don't even really need. Yeah, we don't really need a diagonal one right there. Pretty simple on this one. And we could have one right in the middle of this whole formation as well. Now you are testing around the top side of the range, which is not a bad thing, but the question is, does it have enough like power? Does it have enough fuel to actually break through? Volatility, you know, taken up from the lows right here would actually suggest yes. I'm inclined to say though, let's actually go down to a lower term time frame. I'm inclined to say that this one actually does trade down first, perhaps down to about 380, maybe even as low as 365 first, before giving another like legitimate try to the upside. But this is a long-term, this is a long-term good chart, no doubt about that. The question is, do we come down first? I think probably yes. Daily BBWP on the floor as well. I mean, this thing really could actually move from here. This, maybe I'm being too conservative on this. 5-day, same thing as well. Weekly, same thing. It's very possible I'm being too conservative here. You know, I do think you could have a short-term downside move to like 380 or 385 on a Bitcoin sell-off. You know, quick move down there. As long as you're above that region, though, man, it's medium and long-term and macro bullish here. I mean, it's just your next higher low. Where would I get excited about this thing? Daily closure above about 420, also a great number. Looking for moves back above $500 and probably new all-time highs after that. Again, you know, most of these things are trending. Yeah, most of these things are just straight up trending. So I have to err on the side of caution right there. I'd really only get bearish on this one below about 310 on a daily. In short term, I would again kind of cancel my more optimism about this below about 360 or so. But 310 is like the major level right there. Below there, well, get ready for some nasty downside moves down to low 200s. But for right now, no, the setup's there. Kusama looking okay, sir. Looking okay. All right, let me just polish this little T off. I see Von Go. There he is, Von Go. What's up, man? Hey, Derek. What's up, man? The second eagle has not landed, sir, unfortunately. Still waiting on that eagle. Let's see. Micah says XTZ USD 4 hour daily. Sure. See where this one's at. One was really popular at like September times. Where are we at right now? Yeah, consolidating as is pretty much most things right now. I do like this chart for what it's worth. I do like this chart. Let's just should we record this one? Let me see how many videos we got for today. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we could do another one. Why not, man? Why not? Why not? All right. Here we have Tezos symbol XTZ versus the dollar. And what do we have? Well, we do have something very, 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 very important right here on the daily. Volatility is on the floor, so we are set for expansion. And in this case, you know, what sort of direction am I angled towards? Well, we do have multiple drives of hidden bullish evidence here on the daily. Ooh, a little bit of a burpola right there. And daily Jewel is also in a more bullish posture as well, although not my favorite signal right there. In this case, while I do have a descending trend line right there, I don't like playing those. You know, you got a range play going on right here. I do look at this as more bullishly imposed and bearishly imposed, especially as long as you're above 6.25. That implies that as long as you're closing daily doodles above 6.25, looking for this one to resolve to the upside essentially, and tag around your prior highs. If you do lose 6.25, I'd be looking for a nice, healthy, nasty move down to about 5.25. But for right now, a lot more good things than bad things. Just want to see it close above 744 on a daily specifically. Then yeah, I'd be looking for another move around your prior highs. Very likely long-term continuation. You know, we did sell off on the 1618 on the last pass, which is, you know, very, very common. So you know, next time it does get around that region, I probably would be looking for this one to bust on through. Do some busting action, man. Maybe into the mid-teens long term, but we're very well and far away from that, so I don't know if it's too relevant or appropriate to talk about that right now. Just want to see it break above that area that we marked off there, and then short term looking at a move towards 8.25, medium term looking at a move towards 9.85, and please understand the invalidation as well, because if this one does turn around to the downside, it will be quite a nasty sell-off right there, actually. Hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for, well. Hold on. Let's just do a couple more looks at Tezos, just out of curiosity, man. Just out of curiosity here. Let's see. 5-day will pop back up above 808. Okay, that's not happening anytime soon. Daily is up as long as above 662. Okay, good. 12 hour is freshly up above 672. Okay. Yeah, I would be more biased towards the upside right now. Still want to see that resolution above that specific area, but a lot more upside signals than downside signals right now. Hopefully that's helpful, and there you go for it. Tezos, sir. Nice. Oh, man. He is running out, sir. He is running out. Okay, sweet. What's up, Spencer Smith? I'm back, sir. Got promoted. Nice. Congratulations, man. Means I can buy them dips harder. Everything goes back into crypto, I guess. Okay, you're looking at Stacks USD on OKCoin. Okay. All right. Whoops, I spelled it wrong. Stacks U? No. Okay, there we go. It's symbol STX, and you're looking specifically on OKX. All right. Whoops, we are on the wrong one. We're on the wrong one. Okay. There we go. That's what we want to see. You're looking on a daily and weekly. Daily, higher lows above 205 is completely fair game. As long as you're above there, I look at this as a lot more likely to continue on to the upside. Below 205 on a daily closure, I look for this one to correct further to the south side and probably give up its long-term bullish posturing here. You know, downside targets would be like 175 to 180 or so. Yeah, 175 with the bounce implied there. Weekly, really not enough history here to analyze on a weekly, barely even enough on a daily as well. So I don't feel too confident with this, but short term, I do think it's going to test some downside, man. I think it's going to test somewhere down around that 2 to 205 region. Just don't want to see a daily closure below there. If it does, then I would extend downside targets and tell them, you know, what do you potentially have going on right here? You potentially have something like this going on after a short-term downside move, which would obviously be, you know, long-term good. Just needs to hold this area right here. Otherwise bad. What's up, Shelly? Soul, medium term, please, for your neighbor in Estonia. Oh, nice. Actually used to live in Old Town for a few months. It was I actually really liked it. I love like old shit and medieval shit. Maybe not shit, but like, you know, castles and stuff. That's what I like. Anyways, Solana. Sorry, I don't mean to disparage your history there, but it's actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. Solanias. You're looking at you're looking at medium term. Gotcha. So I'm going to go for a 12 hour and a 4 hour here. Just kind of grinding up against the highs right now. I mean, this is good. Did we make new all-time highs here? No, we did not. Where's our all-time high? All-time high is 221. Yeah, 221 it looks like. Sorry, 222 and some odd change. Let's go to a 12 hour. 12 hour short term, probably a little bit more downside angled. Probably does come down around to about $200 minimum and tries for a bounce there. If bounce fails at $200, I'm looking for another higher low somewhere around about 190 to 195. Sorry, more like 192 to 195 or so. You know, I want to be very on the record as saying that, you know, long term, I like this. Long term, I think that this is really good here. There's absolutely nothing bearish about the 5-day, the weekly, the monthly for that matter. All these are really good here. The question is, how far down do we correct first before trying another move to the upside? As yesterday's try towards new all-time highs was actually rejected, it looks like. I'm inclined to go over here and see if there's anything obvious that we're dealing with right now. Okay, daily. Daily will turn down below 210. So if this one does close below 210 today, which I actually do think is rather likely, I'd be expecting a correction first towards your mid 190 numbers. Yeah, 4 hour Stokes pointed down as long as below 213.5 or so as well. 12 hours up as long as above 202, but I expect that this one probably tries for a little bit of short-term downside and tries for a higher low somewhere in the mid 190s or so. Again, long term, I'm very bullish on something like this, especially as long as you're above about 185 now. It's kind of my line in the sand. Otherwise, I'll start to turn to medium term, looking for downside, maybe back down to like 165, 170. But until then, you know, pretty damn good long term. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, sir. Or ma'am, yes. Winning Choice says, hi, Sir Krown. What's up, man? Yesterday we looked at CAUTI USD. Can we please look at CAUTI BTC? Okay, yeah. Yes, let's pull it up over here. BTC. Binance KuCoin. Maybe KuCoin. I think that's like the best altcoin exchange now. Okay over there? All right, cool. Daily and weekly. Gotcha. Let's see. Daily, good. Well, yeah, daily Jules giving another upside signal here. Not supported by DMI just yet. About weekly. Is there a weekly? Yeah. Actually, the weekly is one that I like. let's see, we should come up with an invalidation here where it'd get bearish, but below your 23rd of October low, yeah, I'd be looking for some downside back down to I don't know, somewhere around 600 satoshis or so. Until then, this is good. This is good. As long as you're above that region, I'm looking for sideways and up out of this region here. You know, next topside or probably topside test of the range, you know, somewhere around, Jesus Christ. Probably somewhere around about 1,000 satoshis or so. Above 1,000 satoshis, I'd be looking for this one to actually retest prior highs and, you know, probably continue on with the all-time high party. Very interesting here to see this, because most things versus Bitcoin not looking too hot. Although we did see a pretty damn good one with Ethereum as well, so maybe I'm wrong about that one. What's up, Big Kahuna? Oh, you must be Hawaiian, sir. Let me just finish this tea first, and then we'll get on with it. Okay, TVK versus the dollar. All right, Terra Virtua. Okay, what the fuck? 4-hour daily. Apparently I've charted this one before, but I expect it's going to be a good time to delete everything and just start off with a fresh look. Yeah, same chart that we see across the land. Put on the weekly is pretty obvious. Okay, let's go into a 4 as well. All right, okay. We do see a series of higher lows right here, which I do like. That you're kind of at the precipice as well, so that does offer up a very easy invalidation condition below 18.5 cent. On even a 4-hour closure, I would look for this one to retest around your September lows. Until then, I run with a bullish assumption here. I mean, momentum also does in more bullish posturing here. Volatility is contracting still, so I don't know if this one's ready to, like, you know, move today. Well, actually, the daily says perhaps yes. Jesus Christ, man, look at that. This one's getting ready for a big fucking move, man. Here's the obvious analysis on this one. Above 22.70 cents. I'm looking for this one to go on a nice ride towards 26.5, probably more over time towards your August highs. Below the downside pivot, obviously I'm looking for a retest of your September lows, and well, at that point, you know, do we move low over time? Potentially yes, but I'd want to see that in real time first. Until that time, you know, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. You know, we see the same sort of formation across the board on many altcoins, and most of them are breaking them to the upside, so that is good. Well, likely good. What's up, Garrett Gossman? Thanks for sharing. Hey, man, no problem. All good. Can you take a look at Spell, short and longer term? I don't know what short and longer term means to you, but do like an hourly and a daily, maybe. Like this one probably doesn't have too much history here. Maybe Poloniex. Okay, nope, that's completely unhelpful. Maybe OKX. Anything else? All right, well, don't really have a long term on this one. Short term, I need to use like an hourly sloppy chart, man. I don't have a good opinion on charts like this. Yeah, I don't think I have a good opinion on. Maybe there's got to be. We did okay. Maybe FTX. Same chart. It's really not much history here, man. I suppose, you know, if I want to put on the Bulldog goggles here, I would treat this as potential higher low in the making, but I'm really not going off of much. This is hopium, and the 4-hour says no. The 4-hour says probably down. Problem is we just don't have much history here, man. I need to see like years of history in order to do like an actual long-term analysis. This one has like a month, less than a month. Just not going to be helpful, unfortunately. If I had to call it very short-term, I'd be looking for a move back up somewhere around about 2.5 cent. As long as you're below 2.5 cent though, on even an hourly closure, I do look at that as your next lower high before coming down lower over time to 2 cent. Now, let's say it does start to close back above about 2.5 cent. On even an hourly, I'd be looking for the party to continue, I suppose. But again, you know, I should really give you the full answer here. The full answer, man, is a healthy amount of I don't know. I don't know on some that's been around for this short amount of time and trades somewhat sloppyish. I mean, obviously, you know, it's going, you know, up and to the right, but we have a couple weeks of history here, man. I wouldn't be basing much off of that. I know that that's, you know, not helpful, but I can't really do any much more with that, man. What's up, Neo Naranjo? Cadena. Yeah, man, Cadena has been getting a lot of love recently. So why is this thing becoming such like a, why is this thing becoming so popular is the question that I have. Well, I guess it's going popular because it's bullish as fuck. Bullish as fuck will do it, huh? All right, Cadena. Should we do a video on this one? Maybe not, because I might be calling a top here, and people ain't going to like that. Well, 12 hours still looks good here, to be fair. 12 12 hour still looks good. Here's where I could very obviously get bullish for another, another extension to the upside, somewhere around $9. Any sort of a 12-hour closure in about 5.5 hours above, what is this pivot right here? $7.5 would do it for me. Until then, I'm getting a lot of signals to say this one's likely to find a local high soon. 12-hour BBWP, 100 percentile, daily same, 4-hour obviously same, cooling off right there. Hourly working off highs as well. I think short term, you're going in a bit of a sideways consolidation right here. And then if you start to break below, let's call it $6 on even an hourly, I'd look for a move down to about 480, 490 or so. Until then, sideways within this range is good for the long term. And if you see that 12-hour closure anywhere above about $7.5, I'd be looking for that continuation first to $9, and then come back after that. But I'm a lot more inclined to say this one's ready to put in a local high here than not. Volume climax on this move as well is typically a good signal. So, if it does go for another move to the upside, I don't think it adds too much more here. It's obviously a good long-term chart, just probably goes through another consolidation phase. Again, this is good. It's just, probably gonna take its time, I imagine. Mark Marcos says, can you please look at Polkadot? Sure. Symbol DOT. I'm in a 5x leverage token and losing a lot, waiting for a pump. When pump? I'm in a 5x. So what do you mean 5x leverage token? You bought like a 5x token long of Polkadot? Like, why? My question is why. But fair enough. Let's go look at this one. Well, you should be fine, man. I mean, this thing's at all-time highs, man. Unless I'm not understanding something properly, which maybe I'm not. This is good. This is pretty damn good. Here we have Polkadot, symbol DOT versus the dollar, and we have someone who needs to pay rent today. So this thing needs to move now. And we actually do have some good indications here that it's getting ready to move. Probably this week, maybe not necessarily today, but probably later this week. Daily BBWP is on a 0 percentile read, similar to what we saw back on in July of 2021. And other than that, we actually don't have too many iterations. Maybe we got to go to a 12-hour right here. Oh, we got plenty on a 12-hour actually. Last time that we were this low did produce about a 40% move within the next 5 days. Time before that led up to about a 40% move in about 11 days. Not bad. Time before that was to the downside, so we'll just ignore. We only talked about bullish things here. No, just kidding. Time before that was 47.5% over the next 8 to 9 days or so. We can do a few more iterations, but you get the point. Would I be biased towards the upside or the downside resolution of this one? I'm biased towards an upside resolution based off of momentum oscillators right here. 12-hour hidden bullish evidence looking not super strong to be fair, but daily okay. 2-day. This one's long-term good. The question is it ready to go like now or not? The question is fuck or not, as always. And what can we see over here? I'm trying to see whether this one's most likely to do this like sooner rather than later. Yeah, daily stocks will be to the downside if we do close today below $45. I do suspect that this one is implying that it needs to either continue, basically, I'd say at latest 48 hours, so before Thursday close. Otherwise, I would be looking for a pullback first, probably to $37, 37 and a quarter. And I would be looking for that pullback on any sort of a, let's go to a 4-hour here. Any sort of a 4-hour closure below about 41.80 or so would do it for me. And yeah, I'd be looking for that move down to about 37.5 to $38. Until then, I remain cautiously optimistic. I mean, this is an uptrend, obviously. Momentum oscillators are somewhat more bullish, and you are around pretty much your per all-time highs. So what would constitute a breakout to the upside in this case? Daily closure above about $45 would do it for me. Then we could talk about, next short-term targets would obviously be your $48 prior all-time high. We come up with some more interesting things than that, though. Let's see, because we would be in a price discovery situation. So let's actually get this properly right there. And yeah, there's your $48 to $49 target. I'd generally be looking for a continuation phase over the next couple of weeks if that condition were to be met, somewhere around 60 to $70 or so, and then a big consolidation there before potential long-term continuation. But volatility does say that we're looking at a move very likely this week. Volatility is direction neutral though, so if that move does come to the downside, it'll be pretty fucking nasty, I suspect. Comes to the upside, well, it'll be pretty fucking nasty in a good way. But hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for symbol DOT, sir. Nice one, man. Cool. What's up, DB Moose? Good morning. Not a ton of history, but could you look at QRDO? Okay. All right. Let's see. Creedro. Quidro. Yeah, not much history at all, man. I'm going to do like a 4 hour and hourly. I'll tell you what you already know, man. You're in an uptrend, obviously. And yeah, you actually just got another drive of hidden bullish evidence right here, it looks like. So I suspect that this one does charge upwards and onwards. Just, I'm always going to be, you know, a little bit on edge about charts that are this new. Hourly is also bullish as well. Same sort of hidden bullish evidence right here. Volatility ticking up. You know, should obviously come up with an invalidation condition, which would be below about 406. Below there, I'd be looking for a bit of a correction down to 387 and then come back after that. But we're talking about very low term time frame stuff right here, and I don't feel too confident in something like this. I mean, it's good. It's good for the history that we have. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say about it, man. Just be aware of the invalidations. Until then, sideways and up is the name of the game here, man. Don't really have a reason to look for anything different just yet. Volatility is nowhere near maxed out, so this is all technically constructive and likely to lead towards new highs in this case, I suppose. I don't know how much I'd stand by that statement, man. What's up, Legend Alizis? Are you still looking for a 15% pull on now SPY? No, that condition was invalidated 2 weeks ago on not last Friday closure, because I was away the Friday before that. And obviously that's going to be wrong as well, just because, I mean, SPY's already making new all-time highs. There's not really bearish there. So yeah, man. So that got invalidated when we got a weekly closure above this 44.50 pivot right here. That was no longer going to happen. So how big was the correction from top to bottom now? Hey, stop that. I think it was only like, wasn't even double digits, man. Yeah, 6.5%, 660%. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, pathetic. Looks I'm certainly wrong on that one. NASDAQ not as strong here, but I suspect it's going to be following along as well. And same setup here as well, basically as SPY. Volatility on the weeklies, even on the lows as well, man. This is... Are we just going to see like the market that never fucking goes down? This is insane. How much should this one correct? I think this one got a little bit more than SPY. Let's see. Yeah, 8.5%. Almost double digits close, but yeah, not going to be right on that one. Some poo back. Looking for some poo back. There we go. There we go. Good old Finnish water, the best. What's up, Zane? We already got XTZ. If you want to look at something very specific with it, we can look at that. But I suspect I'm just getting this comment a little bit later. But yeah, just let us know, man. Otherwise, we did cover it about 10 minutes ago or so. What's up, MindEvo? CRO. Okay, what is CRO? Is that's the crypto card, right? Yeah, it is. Bittrex certainly will have the longest history going back to 2018. I remember this one actually. Good, very, very good here. Very, very good. I'd be looking for a short-term continuation of the top side of your range. You know, anytime that you see a chart like this, it's worth paying attention to. It just generally goes to the upside, right? What is that level? About 22 cents, a little bit above 22 cents. Above there, I'd be looking for an actual breakout and trending move into new all-time highs. Momentum also is like, oh, we're on a weekly right here. Wow. Weekly RSI is very healthy. Weekly Jewel might even give you another upside signal as well coming into next week. Daily is this is a really good setup, man. BBWP is on the floor. All momentum oscillators are bullish. I'm looking for short-term move up to 22 cents. Daily closure above there. I'm looking for, you know, retest per optimize and then very likely new optimize. This is good. This is very, very good. A long-term setup and has proven itself over the course of the last few years. That's impressive. Hubris the God, what's up, man? Good to meet you, but I don't see a message there. So let us know. Tag Elsa with a message if you have a message. Otherwise, I'll just say a kind thank you, sir. Kendall Hearn says HBAR USD 1 4-hour daily and weekly. Okay, all over the place, man. All right. All right. I like how people are shilling to Elsa now. This is good. This is really good. Hey, when he talks about getting bags, he's not talking about fucking Prada bags. He's talking about crypto bags, sir. Just so you know. They're Prada bags for you. Okay, H-bar. Maybe this one's worth recording here. How many videos do I have for today? Too many already. Jesus. Holy fucking moly, man. So we won't do this one, but this one's actually... Oh, fuck it. We should do this one, man. This one's actually pretty damn good. Here we have H-bar, Herderpa hash graph versus the dollar, and we have a very, very interesting chart, actually. Consolidating around the highs, we have those lovely higher lows that, well, is always bearish, right? Now, this coming alongside of a contraction phase on daily BBWP. Daily RSI is in a more neutral to slightly bullish posturing. Daily Joule is actually giving off a potential upside signal coming into tomorrow. Would still obviously like to see it actually clear above about 42 and a quarter cent on a daily closure. And then, yeah, I'd be looking for this one to very likely play out the technical target. I'm going to guess towards the prior highs. Yep, what do you know? Right around about a little bit above half a buck, about 54 cents or so over time. And then very likely continue on to new all-time highs. This is very, very constructive chart right here. Very good. Very, very good. Let's go to a 5-day. 5-day looking good, man. 4-hour time frame. Short term also looking good as well. Volatility expanding off the lows, and momentum also is bullish here as well. Short term, I'm looking for a move towards 40.5 cent. Just want to see that break above the range highs, and then yes, I'd be looking for this one to continue onwards and upwards. Of course, invalidation conditions as always going to be below about, I'd choose actually this low right here on a 4-hour, 33 cents, and then yeah, I'd be looking for this one to fall apart a little bit back down to your mid to upper 20s. But for right now, this one's showing a lot of interesting things, and I do think it's worth paying attention to, man. This is good. It's very, very good. What does monthly look like, by the way? Monthly, more or less powerful. Curious, maybe if we have something over here that might negate what we're talking about, perhaps. Daily above 39 cents, 39.5 cents is going to look really, really good. Force momentum also is back up again. Okay. 5-day above 39.5 cents as well would do the same thing. Rejection of the bearish control zone as well. It's good. Very, very good, man. Yeah, I'd be leaning towards an upside resolution here. Hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Haderpa. Cool. What's up, Diamond Black? Diamond Black Exteriors. Man, that is a mouthful, but good to meet you, man. Hey, brother, could you please look up SHIB on short term? If it's ready to break out now. Okay. Let's see. SHIB. Right. Okay. Is it ready to break out on short term? No. Well, no, I'd say not. I think that this one ranges a little bit more here. It is bullish, actually. And I wouldn't be surprised. Well, shit. If you're talking about very short term, no. If you're talking about on the daily, yes. I do think that this one will reach for new all-time highs, maybe even today, very likely tomorrow. Depends what time frame you're looking at. All higher time frames are bullish here, man. Jesus Christ, man. The problem is that on the higher term time frames, this one could easily have another move down to like 3,600, not Satoshis, but dollars, I guess. And still be long-term bullish. So if you're specifically asking about the short-term timeframes here, I'm going to go to a 4-hour. You know, where would I declare it a continuation move to new all-time highs in this case? You know, 4-hour closure above 43.50 would do it for me. Hourly, same condition right there. Even an hourly above 43.50 would do it for me, actually. Bi-hourly, same shit as well. I'm inclined to say that it probably does correct down to like 39.50 first, but you know, no matter which kind of angle I look at it from, it is long-term bullish, actually. As crazy as that sounds, but it's a good chart. It's actually a really good chart right here. You know, as long as you're above 3,600 long-term, this is long-term bullish, I suppose. Let's see, what about a 12 hours continuation as well, man? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go as far as saying it probably does actually continue from here. I would say short-term continuation is going to be invalidated with a hourly closure below about 38.50. I do think that you could have an easy correction down around here, just be another higher low. But as long as you're closing hourly deltas above there, I'm looking for this one to trade sideways and up. Below that region, that's where it starts to lose its more immediate bullishness. So hopefully that was helpful for SHIB. But yeah, man, this is... What the fuck is going on over here? I mean, this, to me, when I hear the name SHIB, it just sounds like another Mimi token, but apparently it's not. I mean, wouldn't really expect a Mimi token to be doing this right now. Then again, who knows? Simply Gain says sold CRV at 5.30, looking to rebuy at 4.30 to $4. Let's check it out. A reward token, so maybe it gets sold into smithereens. Oh, nice, man. Nice move right there. Hold on. Let's scroll back out. Okay, I see why you sold it. You sold the other spike high right here. Yeah, it's always going to be a nice, nice pullback. You're getting that right now. We got 480. You're looking to buy back down around 430 to $4 even. I do think 430 is actually certainly not out of the cards right here. The thing is though, is that it's long-term bullish. So, or at least it's long-term bullish from here. You know, do I think that you're going to come down to like 450 or 460 rather likely? Yes. 420 to 430. Yeah, and it doesn't really do anything for the long term, so I'm inclined to say yes as well. I do think that you are putting a top right here, though. BBWP is, redlining right there. Same thing on the 4 hour as well. I'd probably be looking for it to maybe grind up that 5.25 to 530 high a couple more times and then come back down and consolidate around your levels, maybe a little bit higher than what you're thinking at. I would kind of be looking at about 425 to 4.5 or so. But that's just me, man. Long term, this is good, man. I mean, if the 5 day does the 5 day close tomorrow, it does close tomorrow. If the 5 day closes anywhere above basically $4, I mean, this is very likely to make new highs on this rally over the next 10 days, maybe even less than that, man. This is good. This is good here. Kind of interesting to see this on a reward token though. Let's see. Jacob Mistake says XYOSER. Okay. All right. I think we've looked at this before. It's somewhat familiar as a ticker. XYO Network. Got it. KuCoin. Cutcoin. How do you name your fucking exchange Cutcoin? Sloppy chart, man. Very sloppy chart. I'm going with market analysis over individualistic analysis here, but I'm inclined to say just a fucking sloppy low right there. I mean, that is... Look, if I was just looking at this chart, I'd say, look, this is ugly. It's probably coming back down to like 3 cents or so. Maybe 2.9 or something like that. I'm inclined to say that it probably does put in a low here, but I really don't feel confident on a chart like this, man. It's only been around for a couple months. And you didn't give me any time frame, so I don't really know which way you want me to go on this one. I'll give you the hourly range. It's not going to be anything too spectacular, but below about 3.137, I am looking for this one to fall back down to your middle of October lows. And then above yesterday's spike high, it looks like I'm looking for a move, actually probably a decent move back up towards 330, 335 or so. Other than that, I don't really have opinions on charts like this. It's probably more trouble than it's worth, but I don't know, maybe like the underlying fundamentals, that's a different game. I can't speak towards that. Yeah, man, I don't think I have anything really to add on to that, man. I know where I'd get bearish and I know where I'd get bullish on this one. Until then, this one's a very uninteresting chart in my opinion, but hey, teach their own, man. Basil Jabber says, Dubai ain't the Middle East, you've got to visit Lebanon. Really? Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't feel like the Middle East, man. That place is Americanized as it fucking gets, man. Really beautiful place. But when I think Middle East, I think like I probably am thinking of something more like Lebanon, right? Yeah, Dubai is like a smaller America with fake rules, essentially. I was warned about all of these rules before going there. Like Elsa was really concerned about like what she was gonna wear in Dubai because they have like the Sharia law and everything. It was never an issue, man. People had their titties out everywhere, and it was completely fine. It was very, very open. You wouldn't really be able to tell the difference between that city and most major American cities, except for the fact that it's just even more. It's actually more incredible than any American city I've been to, or just any city in general. I mean, it's the most impressive city I've ever been to. All right, you're looking at Algo or XRP. Okay, let's see. One of these I want to record, so should we do Algo? Is this one looking better? Let's pick the one that looks better. Yeah, Algo looks pretty damn good. What about XRP for the army there? Both are setups, right? I mean, everything's basically a setup right now. As long as it's not like the biggest piece of shit possible. Obviously, XRP has its event coming up. We'll do XRP just because, got to get the XRP army involved. All right, here we have Ripple, symbol XRP versus the dollar, and we have a setup in front of our very face. Daily hidden bullish divergence is about to be confirmed with any sort of a closure here or higher by end of day. BBWP is on the floor for about a week now, and I am looking, or at least I'd be biased towards its volatility expansion with an upside resolution as we do have a series of higher lows here. I would like to, however, confirm a daily dodo first above, let's call it 116.5. And then, yeah, I'd be looking for a short-term move somewhere around about $1.25 to $1.30, and then very likely does lead towards long-term continuation. Of course, Ripple also has its lawsuit or whatever the fuck it's going off of right now as well. Looks like they're probably going to win it actually, so I suspect that that's going to be generally perceived as good. But as far as the chart setup goes here, it's not as strong as a lot of the other charts that we've seen today, but it is still decent nonetheless. Full hour short-term looks like a short-term move back up to about 115, maybe 116.5. BBWP expanding off the lows as well, so I am biased towards short-term upside. There's going to be invalidation on this one as well, obviously below about 105, looking for moves back down to, probably just below $1 or so overall. But, the setup is there, obviously. I imagine that, if Bitcoin takes a leg up here, XRP is going to, probably go for the breakout. If Bitcoin legs down, then, well, you probably play out the downside move. Daily Stokes are going to cross back up today at 8 p.m. Eastern time with any sort of a closure above a $1.10.5, which we are currently almost 1.5 cents above. So I'm inclined to say that this one probably does try for it sooner rather than later. The setup is decent, and the weekly is about to fall through as well above 105. So would like to see that level taken out to the upside first, and then yes, looking for about 1.25 to 130. And then more long term, probably looking at about $1.50 to maybe even $1.80 or so. I mean, it's probably just going to go on a general run after that. This one's actually been a very constructive chart over a long period of time. If we can actually talk towards the merits of this chart, we do see a series of higher lows here, and it's been basically one long, very, 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 very long term accumulation between February 2018 and kind of where we're at right now. So it does deserve some respect as far as charts go. Pretty damn good, actually. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ripple, sir. Mr. D, he's back. FOMO, AXS. Oh yeah, we could do AXS. Yeah, let's do some axes. We haven't even looked at Ethereum today. No one gives a fuck about Ethereum. That's funny. Oh well, it's a new era here, sirs and sirs. All right. Goddamn. Here we have Axie Infinity symbol AXS versus the dollar. And this has been one of the most bullish charts in this market for the past, I guess, a year now. Yeah, about a year now, actually. Pretty much goes up into the right, as we do like. And this consolidation over here looking like it is nearing completion as well very, 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 very soon. We got those lovely higher lows. We do have a technical target based off of this as an ascending triangle. And that would be implying a move somewhere around the 1414. So good confluence right there at about $1.57 to $1.60 or so. What I guess it probably does lead towards long-term continuation. I would be looking for pullbacks and consolidations lower, somewhere around about $1.65 to $1.67, assuming that it gets there. Daily is looking for a move probably at the end of this week, maybe even today, with BBWP coming off the floor right here. That is very likely to that's very likely to be a nice move. And daily hidden bullish evidence right here as well is looking good. And daily jewel also with an upside signature here. Again, want to see an actual closure above the top side resistance, which is about 140 on a daily closure. And then yeah, I'd be looking for that next technical target to play out, and then very likely long-term continuation in validation for that below about 120, implying a move back down to about $1.05. Below $1.05, I'd actually turn to more long-term bearish on this. But for right now, very, 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 very good setup here. And again, just always have to respect a chart that looks like this long-term. That's good. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go, sir. Nice one, man. Let's see oh man, what the fuck? We got a lot more. Holy shit. Okay, let me take another sip of this water, man. I got to get ready for this one. Justin White says, hey, Krown, can we check out Cauty on the higher timeframes? The chart seems to have some suspense going. Okay. Yeah, we spoke about it yesterday, actually. So symbols. We already talked about this one or not? I feel like we did. I still like this chart, man. BBWP on the floor, still putting in higher lows, pretty much at your per all-time highs. I remain bullish on this one as long as you're above about 46.5 cent. Weekly, same thing. Below 46.5 cent, I look for a correction down to 36 to 37 cent. But until then, man, sideways here is good. Very constructive, very, very good. I'd be looking for a breakout above about 58.5 cent in order to get excited for a retest of your per all-time highs, and probably continuation above there over time. What's up, Thomas Venegas? Hex, please. Is Bear Jesus here? Let's check it out. Okay, so I called a move from like 20 to 50, 50 down to 20, and are we looking for a bounce here or not? No, I think that this one bounces here first before anything else. I still have the same thing to say about this as I did yesterday. I would probably be more on the side of like long-term bearishness here, but coming off of a move like this, I'm looking for a bounce first, and that bounce can come anywhere between about like 36 to 40 cents or so. And then, any bounce that fails to get back up about 42 cents, let's call it, that's just going to be your next lower high and lead towards more long-term downside continuation, probably looking at 15 cents to maybe even 10 cents. But short-term, I'm still more on the side of looking at this as likely to bounce first over the next coming weeks. I think you've seen most of the downside for right now. Bounce first, then maybe die later. Then again, if you do want to play this as far as structure goes, 33.5 cent would be that sort of line in the sand right now. So above 33.5 cent, then yes, I do look for that move up somewhere between about 36, maybe even as much as 40 cents. And then I'm on lower high watch from there. If it does fall apart from here, then this thing's going to be a lot more bearish than what I considered. And You know, do I look for another bounce off of like 22 cents? Yeah, maybe, but very likely to be just that. I mean, that'd be a pretty abysmal chart over time, but that's some pretty hefty distribution right there. So I don't know exactly who was telling you to buy over here, but be careful, because a lot of people were dumping over there, it looks like. I think that is rather clear. Okay, cool. What's up, Martin Hunt? Good morning to you, man. No breaks allowed, sir. No breaks allowed. Take a look at AVAX BTC on the weekly and daily. Also, you haven't covered it already. Yeah, we haven't done AVAX yet, actually. No one's asked about AVAX in a while, in fact. AVAX BTC, and you're looking at a daily and weekly, it sounds like. Okay. Weekly chart. I'm not a humongous fan of this chart, actually. Weekly, daily. Actually, need to go into the lower term timeframes. I actually don't feel too confident on this one, man. I should be looking for my next lower high on the daily and weekly, like pretty much right here, maybe after one more extension to 124,000 satoshis. But I want to shoot you straight, man. I do not feel too strong about this chart. Usually I would, but I was expecting I would, but I don't. I really don't here. Maybe a 5 day is going to show something. I probably would be looking for the next move to the upside, yes, but I'd also probably be looking for it to get rejected. I'm a lot more enticed to look for lower highs within this region between about 125 to 130,000 satoshis. So that would imply some short-term upside. 4 hour does not look too hot though, right there. I think a healthy amount of I don't know is the right answer on this one, man. I know that that's not really helpful for you, but you know, let's just address the other portion of your question then instead. Bitcoin dominance. I'm gonna imagine I'm still gonna be like massively long-term bullish on this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bi-monthly closing. You know, do we get another another short-term correction down to like maybe 42 to 43%? Yes, possibly, but I am very, very long-term bullish on this. Like around end of year to early 2022, I'm looking for this to come up into the mid to upper 50s. This is very obviously long-term bullish. About a quarterly, a little bit less so. Monthly, 5 day. Yeah, short term might have one more move to the downside, yes, but I'm going to be generally bullish on Bitcoin dominance here. Next sort of major obvious signal would be back above your 48.25% high. Now there is an invalidation on this one as well, obviously, and that would be below 42 on a weekly closure. But for right now, I'm still phenomenally bullish on this one, man. And I do think that short term it will come down a little bit more here. I think it's going to give you one more move down to like 43 or 44% region and then pop back up. Long term, I'm very, very bullish on that. Short term, I'm a little bit more on the downside angle. Okay, cool. What's up, Moose Boss? Can you look at Atom on the daily time frame? Multiple bullish divergence RSI. We've already looked at this one a couple times, and I also recorded it as well. So maybe we just briefly address what you asked for, and then move on from there. But yeah, I would agree. Multiple drives of hidden bullish evidence. Yes. Back to all-time high within this week and potentially 60 by next month. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily put a time frame on it. I'd say like the next couple weeks here. If that wants to play out towards prior time highs, somewhere around 40 to 45 bucks or so. Would I say 60 bucks by next month? I would not feel comfortable saying that. No. There's not really talk of like, putting in new highs as long as you're below, 40 bucks or so. Above 40 bucks, and yeah, I still wouldn't put like a time frame on it, but I'd generally be looking towards there over the next couple months. Kind of what I'd be saying. I just don't have anything bearish to say about this chart as long as you're above about 32 and a quarter. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on a chart like that. But yeah, I agree with you and your analysis on the RSI and pretty much everything else. I mean, this thing is primed to move here. I don't know if it needs to move like this week, although it does look very, very ready, to be fair, based off of BBWP. Just want to see that moving average get a positive slope. John Dude says, welcome back, guys. Did you see the MetaHero scanner at the Future Blockchain Summit while in Dubai? Actually, no, man. Actually, no, we didn't. We weren't able to make it over there. When is ADA going to herp the derp? Let's check it out. Man, this one is baking like such a fucking move. It's crazy. I think that this one's more ready than not. Look at this, man. It's been in single-digit percentile reads since 8th of October. Let's say at most the next couple weeks, probably sooner rather than later in that case. And yeah, this one's starting to look like it wants to pull through to the upside. Mr. Doc was giving me shit yesterday because there's some wicks on this chart, but look, there's an easy way to get rid of the wicks. Go to the line chart. Simple. It's that simple. You've got a series of higher lows. That's all I need to see right there. I'm biased towards the upside resolution here, but same sort of conditions as yesterday. Just want to see it close above about 228 or so, and then looking for big bad moves to the upside. This one's been consolidating for such a long time. It's quite ready in my opinion. I think before end of month most likely. Let's see. Simply Gain says 90% of the supply of CRV is locked up for the next 3 years. Oh Jesus, no wonder. Okay, now I get it. Sell in 3 years then. There we go. Bless you, sir. Bless you, sir. All right. We're almost 2 hours into this. AEAD says, hello, Miss Krown, sir. What's up, man? Can you look at Bond? Sure. This is another reward token. Yeah, I will give everyone a warning right now, though. We will shut this off at 2 hours. Just my voice from yesterday is like kind of wrecked, so it's okay. 3 minutes. Bond. I mean, what time frames are you looking at here? 4 hour daily, 4 hour fine. Again, in validation below about $28. Until then, I'm looking for sideways and up, back around your $30 to $30.50 high. Yeah, a few more bullish things going on here than not. Another driving phantom div over here, but not super strong, not super compelling to be fair. Sloppy on the daily, very sloppy on the daily, but yeah, I do remain. Christ, man. I do remain, I suppose, bullish on this one as long as it does hold that basically like $27.50 pivot on a daily, and on a 4 hour is it the same? Basically $28. I mean, pretty much the same. We could just save 28 on a 4 hour. Until then, I'm looking for sideways and up. It's just it just looks like it's quite illiquid and just quite illiquid. That's all. Mr. Anderson says, can you please look at ACH? Sure. This is Alchemex or Alchemy or whatever the fuck. Yeah, Alchemy Pay. Whoa, not a fan of this chart, man, especially amongst many of the other charts we've seen already. I don't know what time frames you're looking at, man, because you didn't specify, sir. Mr. Anderson, sir. You do have a bit of a range play here, though, and I suppose I wouldn't get like too bearish on this thing as long as you're above. Oh, I guess I've already done it. 5 spot 8 cent. Below 5 spot 8 cent, I'd be looking for this one to like really fall apart down to 4 or so. Until then, sideways above this region is probably just good for this thing. It's just probably in a liquid shite coin, sir. You do have a descending triangle going on, which typically a bearishly resolved formation, but I still want to see an actual closure below there. I just don't like going against the general market direction right now. Daily, you get your next range breakout above about 6 spot 7 cent, back up somewhere around about 7 spot 7 cent or so. Sean Carley, we've already looked at XTZ. If you want to look at super low term time frames over there, I guess we could do that. Maybe like an hourly quickly. Let's see. Hourly looking good. Short term looking for extension to like 690. In validation below about 670. If you want like the full analysis, just scroll back. I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes down. Styles Here's, what's up, man? Ocean USD. Okay, man, this one's an old one, right? Ocean Protocol, right? Yeah, it's on Bittrex. Gotta be super old. Daily, weekly, huh? Okay. Hourly looks good. Daily also looks good as well, man. Yeah, this one just got the golden cross right here. Keeps on marching its way upwards and onwards. I'm looking for this one to expand towards about 98. Probably just guns towards $1 even. What I really like to see on the weekly is a closure above that dollar range, and then yeah, I'd be looking for a retest of your August highs and very likely, move back around your May meltdown areas. Same chart that we see across the board, just a little bit more on the weaker side, not as strong as the other ones because it didn't move as soon. But 4 hour time frame, hidden bullish evidence all the way around, volatility on the floor. Looking for a short term up, man. Invalidation below about 86 cents. What's up, Matt Syme? Hi there, watched for a long time and love your show. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Sweet. Strong 4 hour. Wait, we looked at strong yesterday. That was a surprisingly really good one if I remember properly. Yeah. Oh wow, man, this one really wow. Holy shit. I don't know what our targets were from yesterday. I don't even think that I had targets on this thing just because it's like straight fucking up, man. It's straight fucking up. Yeah, we're at the 2618. I do think that you're closer to finding a short-term high than not. I'm not calling like a long-term downside move or anything like that, or reversal. Just probably looking at a move back down to like 925 to 930 or so. If things get really crazy, 850. But short-term, yeah, I do think that you have seen your highs. Long-term timeframes, it's good long-term. Basically anything above 850 is going to be another higher low on the daily, but I think that you do play at a bit of a downside move first. and then try for another move. So probably looking at like 950 or so. Where am I going to be wrong on that? You're going to see new all-time highs before anything else. Well, hourly closures back above about 1080 is where I start to entertain those possibilities and look for, I guess, a move towards 1200, even though that sounds fucking insane. I'm a lot more inclined to say short term pulls back a little bit and then you try. But that's where I'd be wrong on that condition. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. We got that. Eric Perkins says, I'm done with doggy lawn and other dogs. Link me up. Dog Weekly. Okay, I don't know if you're asking for dog or link, but I think you're asking for link. Link I think has a phenomenal chart right here. Yeah, this is really fucking good, man. Daily, standing off the lows, already completed the short-term breakout above 27 and 3/4. I'm looking for this one to work its way up towards $35 or so over the next probably the next half week to a week. And there's an invalidation, of course, below about $30 on a daily closure. But until then, man, this looks primed and ready to go, man. Any sort of a weekly closure above 33.5, and I'm looking for this one to really actually go on a nice ride towards low 40s and perhaps even beyond over time. Again, here's your higher low on the weekly. Do quite like that. So the next higher high, well, there's your uptrend, baby, and looks good. Baxter says, hey Elsa, any chance Krown can review algo 4-hour daily? Stream ended yesterday. I think we looked at algo for a second. See, it's good. I think it's just ranging still a little bit here. It's off on the top side of the range. Daily still strong, however. It just depends what time frame you're looking at here. You're looking at a 4-hour daily. I'd like to see a daily closure above about 210, and then yeah, I'd be looking for a retest of your 240, 250 highs. Over time, volatility starting to creep up here as well. So this is a setup. It's just the question is when resolve. Looking at something like this, so you technically do have a technical target if you do break above the top side here, which is actually going to be pointed towards new all-time highs at 265 to 267 or so. 4-hour. Short term, I'd invalidate that below about 185, and I'd invalidate it long term below like 170 or so. Until then, I'm looking for sideways and up. The question is just how ready are we? And volatility actually does say sooner rather than later, in fact. So that'd be good. All right, last one of the last. What's up, Mr. Styles Tears? FCL, KuCoin, 4-hour daily weekly. Sure. Well, I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Fractal, huh? We got some fractals. Some fractals coming back. You're looking at daily. Hidden bullish divergence off that last low. I would be biased towards a short-term retest of like 43.5 to 44 cents or so. 4-hour. 4 hours. This is a weird looking chart. This is a weird looking chart, man. I would have, man, can we come up with something that has a better look on this? This is looking all kinds of weird here, man. Maybe a 4-hour. No, same thing. Okay, so I would have an invalidation on this one very simply below 40 cents on a 4-hour close, looking for another move down to about 37 to 37.5 cents, and probably another bounce there. Until then, I probably am a little bit more biased towards one more test to the upside at like 43.5 to 44 cents first. If you start to close daily doodles above there, I could extend those targets to 47 or 48. Coming into early next week or so, but I'd want to see it in real time. I do like the hidden bullish divergence on the daily right here, but we don't have enough history here to really populate a good BBWP, and that would really help me with sort of aligning this analysis, because if you do put another lower high right here, that would be what I'm essentially looking for on a reversal. But at least for right now, I'd probably give it the benefit of the doubt, and again, understand where the invalidations are, because I'm not so clear on this chart. I always want to be as directed as possible with. So yeah, I think that will do it for today. Holy shit. Wait, what? All right. Let's see. Hubris. Oh yeah, he did. Hubris God says, please get LSS. Okay. LSS USD 4-hour daily. Okay, LSS. What is this? Man, there's like a lot of new coins that I've never heard of today. Lossless. Okay. All right. 4-hour and daily, huh? 4-hour and daily. Looking for bounces, pretty much where we're at right now at 165 or so. As long as you're above 160, let's see. Sorry, not 165, 162. As long as you're above 162 on a 4-hour closure, I look at this as likely going to be good. Likely going to be good, basically right here. Below 162 on a 4-hour, I'm looking for big moves down somewhere around about $1.25 or so before the next sort of decent bounce daily. I mean, I'll tell you what I already know. It's good here. It's just, do we actually crack back down below this level or not? Daily says short term should be looking for another move back up towards 212 to 213. But again, I don't feel too confident on this one. Just something looks a little bit off about this. Short term range, actually rather simple right here. 4-hour closure above 196. And then, yeah, I'd be looking for that move towards about 2.25. And then that's probably going to lead towards long-term continuation. I would feel a lot more confident with that call right there. Until then, sideways within this region is good for the boo laws. Assuming that you are one below, then I'd be looking for your big correction somewhere down about a buck and a quarter to $1.20 or so before the next potential bounce. Nice. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good, sirs and sirs. It's been a nice stream on this lovely Tuesday morning. I am going to go eat some eggs and berries. I'm feeling really good about that. And then we'll be back on tomorrow. I might record a shorts video on Bitcoin or Ethereum later if something interesting happens, as we do kind of dance around the short-term range. But I'm really looking for a resolution, before I say something again, just because this has not really been too helpful right here. And we haven't really seen anything too out of the ordinary for the last day, just more or less a range play. It does look a little bit more short-term poised to come back down a little bit more, but again, as long as $60,000 does hold, I don't really have any major issues with price action. Just, a bit of a short-term range versus the macro range, which the bi-monthly is really going to start to, help with my, my biases coming into the end of the year here, whether I want to be like more immediately bullish or whether I look for a pullback first. But with that said, I want to wish you well. I want to wish you the best bets. Take care, and until next time.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They'll call and crypto crown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep red sea. Trend lines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From distributor into XRP. Oh, bear Jesus, set us free. Crypto what? Crypto crown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto crown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final countdown. The one who's open has the mastermind. Dive into crypto cave and let's go for a ride. The whales are coming very soon, very soon. Up to the moon in the